Hello, these are performance notes for my ensemble piece, Hope is the Thing with Feathers. So probably the first thing is just to quickly talk about the form. It is a round in 4 parts. So split your harps equally, regardless of standards, making sure there's a strong player in each group to lead the section. And you're all going to start 8 bars apart. So what that means is everybody starts from the beginning of the sheet music. So just harp 1 will start, they'll play for 8 bars. Once they finish those 8 bars, they're just going to carry on, and then harp 2 will start at the beginning. And then when they've done 8 bars, then harp 3, so on. So you're all going to be coming in one at a time, but from the start, so you'll all end up being gradually quite far apart. You then need to do the repeat and do the music. So once you start your part, just play it exactly as written, do the repeat. Then when you get to the end, you're all going to finish at the same time, but at different places. So on the score, it is actually marked harp 1 ends here, harp 3 ends here, harp 2, etc. But you are actually all playing at the same time. Because harp 1 started first, they've got more to play. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, so to start with, at the very beginning, this piece has a few extended techniques. The first thing we're going to need to do is use some card, thin card, either say like a greetings card if you've got one, to cut one up, or like a cornflakes packet or something like that. So kind of quite thin card, and you're just going to thread that between the strings, between your F's here in the middle of the harp. And I find the easiest thing to do is just to kind of drop it down so it's kind of out of the way. Now what's going to happen is when you play those strings, it's going to have a thudding noise, which is going to be sort of representing sort of drums. Okay, so those notes are indicated in the part by crosshead notes. And those are the notes that are going to be dampened by the card. And then everything else with a normal note sounds as normal. Okay, right at the very start, we've got some strange looking notes on the score. And what I'm after there is actually just popping your fingertips onto the soundboard. And you can do this lower down, the camera can't quite see down there. And I find if I just kind of go outwards and inwards, and it's just my fingertips like that, and it can be irregular. It's kind of like a pitter-patter of rain. And just do them for the duration. I know it's notated as though it's rhythmical. It isn't. Just once you start, keep it going. So it should sound quite spine-tingly sort of sound. Okay. The next thing to just point out is that each section has a kind of pattern that it follows, and if you have a series of notes, it could be that they're in a sequence and they just move up step by step. For example, at letter D, we just have some chords. It's just simple chord shape. In this case, it's A, B, D, E. And then you just keep the same shape and then just move up each time. So you kind of call this sort of like a cookie cutter shape. So a lot of the time, if there's a pattern, just have a look and see what the pattern is and see whether that repeats. That should make that a lot easier. In section H, you'll see it says play chord and bend any one note. So if your harp allows for this and you have space between your lever and the string here, and of course you can play this on pedal harp as well, and in which case this isn't an issue at all. Sometimes there's no gap, very little gap between the lever and the thing to be able to put your thumb in. But if you have got space, pop your thumb in there and just bend in and out to create a vibrato note. So I'm just pushing in. Why I've said play any one bend, so I'm calling that a bend, note bend, any one note, is that depending on your harp, it could be that some strings will do that really well. In this case, my E does it really well, but the B not so well. So it just depends. If any of the strings work, just do that. If you've got a harp where you can't do that, if you wanted to do a little lever change, I couldn't really hear that one. You could do, but it doesn't really matter. You could just leave that out. Okay, so the final thing is there's a little bit of vocalization in this piece, and please don't want you to feel scared or anxious about that at all. What it is, it's the Maori word for hope, which is tumanako. And I split it up into separate syllables, so it's tu, ma, na, and ko. And it's chanted 3 times throughout the piece. There's a kind of reason for this. It's like it's a circle of magic, and we're just chanting this word, hope. When you get to it, again, it's clearly marked on the part. Each harp group has a different syllable that they chant. And if you just use your diaphragm and really push in, so it's like tu, ma, na, ka. Actually, last one's ko. And just really use your diaphragm to push so that it's quite a loud gestural noise with the consonants. Yes, that's it. Enjoy. It needs to be very, very rhythmical and kept in time for it to work, for then all the parts to meet up. So thank you for playing this piece, and I hope you enjoy it.